A revolutionary. Say whoa. Trap revolutionary. Got the wave is too scary. Doing this thing like Malcolm ain't by any means necessary. We ain't got it by no one seen hand. We got the master plan. Get the move. What's going on, y'all? Y'all want to talk about situation with Wayne Williams up here in Atlanta? Well, when the Atlanta child murders occurred, they actually blamed him. He was charged though with two counts of murder.
The I-Team was on a mission, searching for the past, looking to unlock the facts of what many consider to be the darkest hours in Atlanta's history.
Atlanta police say the remains of what appear to be two human skeletons.
From 1979 to 1981, 29 African-American children, and then later adults, were murdered. Their bodies dumped like trash across metro Atlanta. A 30th child is still missing. The city was on fire with fear.
See, my child's scared to come outdoors. I mean, it's rough.
Families terrified their child could be next as police searched for the killer or killers.
From all indications, these bones are of a small child.
Finally, a break. An unlikely suspect surfaces. Police charge Wayne Williams with the murders of two adults. Prosecutors linked him to 10 more murder victims during the trial, nearly all of them children. The jury's verdict, guilty as charged. To this day, Williams still proclaims his innocence.
I'm just speaking from the heart. I haven't killed anybody.
Following the trial, police closed a total of 24 child and youth adult murder cases and attributed them to Williams, based mostly on prior evidence. Then in 2019, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms asked police to reevaluate all the cases using the latest scientific technology. DNA has been sent off for testing. The public awaits the results.
So they related it. Let me see. They basically tried to relate those child murders to him, but he was never convicted of those child murders. So it says in 1982 he was convicted of the murders of two adult men, Nathaniel Carter and Jimmy Ray Payne, and he's serving two consecutive life sentences. So even though they attributed him to those murders, you know what I'm saying, they never charged him. I always said that was, I don't think one man did that. You know, they tried to, like I said, they kind of attributed those murders to him. But, you know, he never was charged. The mayor, I think her name is Alicia Bottoms, I believe. Let me see. I was looking at it just now. Keisha Lance Bottoms. She's along with Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Atlanta Police Department, and Fulton County District Attorney's Office. I believe she's kind of spearheading the reinvestigation of it. And now that they have DNA testing, she has, pretty much brought it back. I kind of bringing it to the forefront to reinvestigate it and find out, what happened. It's amazing that, man, I think it was over 40, in between 30 and 40 children that were found, like murdered, and found kids in the wood, schools, and dumped in the river. It's terrible, man. Matter of fact, we was kids. Me and my brother, we talked about it today, but we was kids and heard about it. You know what I mean? That was what we was about, maybe 5 and 6, 7 years old. Let me see. Brother was born in 73. I was born in 74. So 79 through 81. Yeah. We was right in between. Yeah. About 5 and 6, 7 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old at the time, you know what I'm saying? So dang, man, it's just crazy how, and then thinking back on it and actually seeing Wayne Williams do an interview. The lady, like, she like asked him, did he have any CIA involvement and, things of that nature. He told her, hey, man, what I said was basically in the book or the papers you're holding. I'm not going to say anything further. In which I understand, it's just, I honestly think when they follow the paper trail and follow it with all the way to the end, I honestly think they're going to find out it was some form of governmental program, governmental involvement, and might end up like finding a paper trail to documents, CIA documents or some form of what do you call them? Those classified documents. So I was like, man, I just don't see one person doing that. They said possibly a serial killer, but over 2 years, 40 children, 30 to 40 children end up dead. Matter of fact, to be exact, that's what I'm gonna do. I want to be exact because I think, let me see, 29. It says 29 victims between 1979 and 1981. It said 23 children between the ages of 7 and 17, and then 6 young adults between the ages of 18 and 28. So it said most of the victims were black boys, though there were also girls and young adult men among the victims. So, man, that's just sad, just thinking about it. And, like I said, coming up in that area and just, man, finding out about that, it really, as a child, it really made you leery. And I know up there, it was probably even way worse, you know what I'm saying? I know some people actually mentioned that they, probably went to Atlanta, traveled, up to Atlanta during that time, and they parents wouldn't let them out their sight, like made sure they was like, parents was with them everywhere they went, you know what I'm saying? Going up there on vacation or whatever it may have been when they went up there. But, just thinking about that, man, I just want to get on here and say that because I'm like, dang. And Wayne Williams, he's actually finna come up for parole next year again. I believe he was denied in 2019. But he's coming up for parole again in 2027. I would say, man, hey, he didn't do his crime. And actually, his attorney is gonna continue to represent him. And she's not giving up on his case with attorney. In 22, it said Williams retained attorney Janice Mann. Said she, publicly, what she publicly stated that she continues to contend and challenge his conviction. You know what I'm saying? So, she's actually sought additional evidence, access to evidence, and I believe that may be DNA tests. She probably actually pushed the mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, actually to, push for a DNA investigation, partially with those murders. The murders he's charged with, and also that probably caused her to actually do those additional DNA tests. You know what I'm saying, to try to find out what really happened. But like I said, the paper trail, they actually followed it they literally follow it to its end. I believe it's going to end up coming up. It's going to be some classified documents, government classified documents, and they probably don't even have none. It's probably a clandestine program, or I don't know, but I just don't think one person over. You never know. You don't know the mind of the thoughts of someone that could do that, to be that demonic, that evil, to do something like that. But I just don't think one person could kill like that, brutally murder people like that. It's like body after body, kid after kid, year after year, and just murder people like that. That's what I'm saying. I just honestly think it's a governmental program. Could be wrong, but I just don't see one person doing that. I think it was a concerted effort, not one person, you know. And they finding people like stabbed, shot, strangled, all type of ways. He just it's like a murder program, like for real. Like it seemed like they was testing out a murder program, and mainly testing out on black kids, on black, young black boys, and like I said, they said adults too, young black men and women, that were killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, man, I'm really just curious about it, and also sad about it. Really, condolences go out to the families, of all the children that were killed, the young adults that were killed, girls, young men or whatever that were killed, man. You know what I'm saying? My hearts go out to them. Condolences to the family and rest in peace to them. But it's sad, man, that something like that occurred. You know what I'm saying? And then I hope Wayne Williams gets justice. He's not guilty. He served all that time. I hope he gets justice, and gets paid, like remunerated, for all the time he spent in prison, especially if he's not guilty. But anyway, I just want to get around and say that. I hope y'all out there doing well, living life for love and happiness. Doing great, living life, strive for greatness every day. Like I said, we can agree to disagree. If we disagree, we can hash it out. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all liking, sharing, comment on the video. Till next, y'all. Love y'all. All right, y'all.
Bucket, go ahead and blow off the dough. Step through the maze, man, and became amazing. About to rewrite history and change a page in a crooked book that never told us the true story. Like how we were kings and queens before the slave story, before the killing, stealing, and drug dealing. On some real shit, we ran the world.